Oh, hi. This is a recipe for potato balls. They're potato pancakes, actually, a form, and that it's easy to make. It uses instant potatoes, and it's sort of like mashed potatoes when you put them in the hot oil. Trying to show some pictures here. That's about the size of it. You can see a standard fork there. That's the inside. Of course, you don't want them to be too greasy. You like the outside cooked and the inside heated hot. Okay, like a potato pancake. And that's some oil, of course, there's some debris from previous cooking. So you can see it's a deep pot. It's maybe 4 or 5 inches. I think maybe 5 inches high or deep. And there's an inch of oil there. Don't use any more than that. And you can see the handles not over the edge of the stove, but sort of inward onto the top of the stove. So I don't bump it or someone grabs it or something. Okay, very dangerous. And the deep pots, because you don't want a fire boiling over and they get on the hot. That's an electric stove, or it doesn't even matter. It can be gas, and it will ignite. And you have to have a lid ready, or maybe a fire extinguisher if it lights up. A lid seems to work good, and you can move it into the um, sink to cool down, but you don't want to put any water on it. It can be, it will boil the water, and it will cause like a steamy, oily mixture, and it's very flammable. And okay, only do the do this if you're experienced a cook, and you're confident. Okay, there's the size of my hand and fork. You can see how big they are. What I use is a teaspoon. It's not very rounded. The batter, just kind of rounded. You know, drop it in the hot oil, about 350 degrees. Of course, once it's heated hot, I believe you can turn it down some. Of course, once you put these balls in too, they cool the oil down. You can store the batter for a day or two or something. There's a version with eggs and without, and it's this is the version without the egg. It's 2 cups of potato flakes, 2.5 to 3 cups of water, but check with the 2.5 cups first. A half cup of flour, and then you may have to increase that to 3/4 of a cup, and a half teaspoon of salt. Um, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Of course, at the end when they're done cooking, you can put a little salt and onion powder on them. A 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder is optional. You mix all them up, and because there's no egg in this, I guess it does not. It's not as like stuck together, holds together. Um, so I just use a 1.5 teaspoons of granulated sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of vinegar, and I mixed all that in the batter. Um, okay, I'm sure